Hi, I'm Pierce Gradone. I'm a composer based out of Chicago. I also teach at Knox College, a small liberal arts college in Western Illinois. Additionally, I'm also a bassist, and I've played a lot of different styles of music, but primarily I am a composer of, I guess you would call it sort of modernist art music. My music is kind of a weird blend. I've grown up playing a lot of different types of music. I really fell in love with sort of modernist music in college. Lately, I mean, the last 5 years, I've really gotten into music that's not within the 12 notes of the scale. So thinking about the notes in between the notes, often it's called microtonal music. And so what I love is that it gives us this kind of extra color. So I use these kind of non-traditional harmonies. Kind of they sound out of tune basically, but I mix those with a lot of kind of rhythms that are very kind of funk based or rock based, but often in some way abstracted. So this idea of standing in the depths, right? How do we musically um, create this? And so for me, my immediate reaction is something that's low in the piano and feels like it's in the low range. And so I took a chord that actually on its own is quite beautiful. So if I took all the notes in this opening chord and played them at a normal range, it would sound something like this. Let's see, I'll play this for you. It's so pretty, it's so nice, so gentle. But when I score it the way that I did, it sounds like this. And so the chord itself is quite, at least in my opinion, beautiful, but the way that it's scored, it has this depth to it and this feeling of being in some kind of cavern or cave or in the depths of something. And so the entire beginning is this um, progression of chords that moves with the voice at first. There's a little bit of an introduction, but they're all kind of, they're always together. When the poem says length unfair, suddenly we get these new textures. All of a sudden, the piano leaps up um, to this much more dissonant kind of texture. And so we have all of a sudden this sense of tension that's created both by this dissonant chord, but also this little repetition in the piano. That's kind of this idea of unfairness and tension and length unknown, and we have these repetitions. Things are not changing, but other things are, and so that's kind of part of the text painting. That's it's not meant to be obvious, but those are the things that give me musical ideas, right? I'm not necessarily trying to tell you how to interpret the poem, but the poem is telling me musically what to do. So reading this, I really, really related to how personal the poem was, and also like the sense of isolation and the sense of unfairness.
I'm afraid, overwhelmed, afraid and overwhelmed.